Hello, everyone. This is Mike from Dimensional Walking. And today I'm going to do a little bit of a kind of a short video on an adventure that Rainbow and I had just south of Portland. There's a community called McMinnville. And in McMinnville, they have, it's kind of famous for a couple things. Number one, it's famous for a UFO festival that they hold. I believe it's in May of every year. We've been there several times. It's really great. They have a kind of a parade. They have a lot of people attended. I would say probably well over 10,000 people attended. It's like a 3-day deal. And they have speakers and just a lot of stuff going on over that long weekend. Really enjoyable. If you're into UFOs, you should look into it. And then also, one of the things that made him quite famous around it, just outside of McMinnville, there was that famous UFO sighting that you probably have all seen. It was a picture taken. It was a disc shape. It was taken by a farmer. It was quite famous. And anyways, the picture went around the world, went viral around the world. And this goes back probably 30 years or so. So that's probably why they ended up having the festival there, I would only guess. Then the other thing that's kind of famous about it is where we went. We went to the Evergreen Aerospace Museum, and it's actually a complex of 4 buildings. And in one of the buildings, it has a water park in it, and on top of that building, it has a full-size, I guess we'll call it functional. I don't think it can fly anymore, but a 747. It's pretty impressive when you see it on top of a building. And then they make the water slide part of that whole 747, which is very cool. Then the other 3 buildings, one is for the airplanes, the old airplanes building, which also has the famous Spruce Goose, which is the Howard Hughes huge plane made out of, I think it's like spruce wood and kind of balsam wood type stuff, and it's really incredible. Yeah, just going there to see that is pretty amazing since it's inside the building. Okay, and then there's all kinds of other really cool airplanes around it. It's kind of the centerpiece, I guess I would call it. Then the next building in a row is the theater. It has a big theater, another building, and it has some really cool stuff that they play at the theater. And then the third building, which is the one we're going to talk about a little bit more, is the Aerospace Building. And that has all kinds of stuff about the moon and moon landings and just really some really incredible stuff there. One of the things there that we spent a little more time this time was the actual an SR-71 Blackbird, which if you see the thumbprint on this video, you'll see Rainbow standing there. Hopefully I can get it to work and actually become the thumbprint, but we'll see. If not, you'll see something. You'll probably see a picture of the SR-71, but maybe Rainbow won't be in it, but we'll see how it all works out. Anyways, SR-71, this is what I kind of want to talk about a little bit today. So the SR-71, nobody seems to know exactly which minute it was built, but it was done in the 50s. And it was probably done at the Skunk Works. A lot of the testing probably happened at Area 51 in and around the southwestern part of the United States. Now, it's a spy plane, if you don't know that. And it had the ability to fly at 85,000 feet. That's the maximum level it could fly. So it's way, way freaking up there, right? And it was stealthy, could not be seen by radar. Plus, it was painted all black with a special black paint. It supposedly could go approximately Mach 3.3, which is 2,200 miles an hour. So it did the Mach 3, even though I had talked to a pilot, an Air Force pilot and a Delta pilot eventually. I lived in Park City, but I also lived in Peachtree City, Georgia, which is a kind of the home to many Delta pilots. So I had a conversation. He actually was a friend of mine, And he had said that the SR-71 actually could go close to 3,000 miles an hour. But he wasn't sure why they didn't say that eventually, but they didn't. He felt pretty comfortable that would have been over Mach 4. So that would have been unbelievable. But for some reason they didn't. They left it at about 2,000 miles an hour. Anyway, so we stayed, Rainbow and I hung out there and looked at it. There's some videos there. It's very cool. It's a beautiful plane. It isn't as big as I thought it was going to be. I thought it would have been bigger, but it isn't. It's fairly, I don't want to say fairly small, but it's like a fighter jet size, maybe a little longer than a typical fighter jet. But anyways, it's beautiful. It's all black. It has a funny feel to it when you touch it. I'm not really too sure what that is, what that's all about. I believe it's a composite. It's obviously not metal. It's kind of a composite that's able to be stealthy, etc. So anyways, so in the 50s and the 60s, there was tremendous amount, especially in the southern part, the southwestern part of the United States, there was a lot of UFO sightings, okay? No doubt about it, there was a lot of UFO sightings. Well, here's the interesting thing. You know, the CIA, of course, was involved in the building of this. And when I say they were build it, they didn't actually build it, but they had, I think it was Lockheed Martin, I believe, actually did that, built it. So it was pretty amazing. But the CIA did work with them because it was going to be for them, because it was a spy plane, obviously. So, anyways. So they're building this and they're testing it in the Southwest during the 50s and the 60s. And so here's what my conclusion was, and other people's conclusion. And that's kind of the bottom line of this video, is that they use, the CIA and our government used the testing and the development of the SR-71 as an excuse. They used it as a cover-up. They use UFO sightings as a cover-up for their testing of this vehicle. So they would go out, and I got this information from, again, another pilot. They would go out and spread this information and actually just inflate UFO sightings, and kind of blamed it on UFOs, alien UFOs, basically, for the sightings, which were actually the SR-71s. The Blackbirds. Now, the reason the SR-71s became a kind of a UFO, in theory, that's exactly what it was, a UFO, but not alien. It was man-made, was that the simple fact that it could fly so dang fast. And when people would see it, which they could get a glimpse of it occasionally, or they could maybe see a little bit of it at night, basically it was moving so fast that everybody realized it could not possibly be of man-made type origin. Now, it didn't maneuver like a UFO can, obviously. It can basically go in a straight line, fly up and fly down, basically like a fighter jet could, but it could do that at high altitude, 85,000 feet, and at tremendous speeds, probably close to between Mach 3 and Mach 4, which is pretty incredible. But it's kind of ironic, think about this, that the government used UFOs basically to cover up their development of the SR Blackbird 71. So anyways, that was really it. I just wanted to kind of get that out. I wanted to kind of share our fun time we had, Rainbow and I had, going to the Aerospace Museum. And if you're in that part of Oregon, or plan to come up here during the summer, geez, really take that in if you have any slight interest in aerospace or airplanes, period. And that one building that houses that the Spruce Goose, Howard Hughes Spruce Goose, is just incredible, just to see the size of that monster. You can walk inside of it, you can look around. Is very cool. So anyways, that's it. Happy trails. Hope to see you again soon. Of course, we'll be doing our videos. Our new videos always come out on Tuesdays and Fridays. So if you have any comments or anything, you can comment here. Please subscribe. And if you wanted to comment, more of a private comment, you can send an email to dimensionalwalking@gmail.com. Happy trails. Thank you. Bye.